Otherwise, I have no connection with the philosophy at all. Except that every PhD fellow gets a degree, Doctor of Philosophy. So I'm also a Doctor of Philosophy in that context. Coming to today's topic, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadajana. Probably a lot of people make mistakes on quoting Bhagavad-Gita, translating Bhagavad-Gita, and mostly when their learning happens to be from English in the Western translated mode and then come back to Sanskrit. I should not say Sanskrit, Sanskritam. There are a lot of confusions made. One of the sloka which is most confused in Bhagavad-Gita is Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadajana. Is it that Dr. TPS is spending 20 minutes for a discussion with you on this sloka, and do you think that I don't expect anything out of it? Do you think the whole Bhagavad Gita taught by not Lord Krishna, God Krishna? See, this is the problem when you translate from English and use it. Britishers gave us the word L-O-R-D, Lord. Bhagavan is not Lord, Bhagavan is God. So when the God Krishna taught, the Master Krishna taught, the student, did he not had any expectation on how Arjuna is going to take it and what is the purpose of this? He had a purpose. So don't translate that whatever action you do, don't ever expect any result out of it. That's a wrong translation. Every action when we do, there is a result. And every one of us who has got little bit of attachment to the beneficiary, to the work, to the self, cannot be out of expectations. Because the Bharatiya Shastra always believes about the Purusharthas, in which Kamam, desire, every subject is based on that. You have to have a Kamam. I should have a desire. What is the desire? Yeah, I must give a lecture, and that lecture should have at least a few points which are different from somebody else who already spoke. So my brain should work. I should start reflecting. I should start interpreting. I should start discussing something which is slightly different, which could be acceptable to the new generation. With that motive is what I am talking. So is it not that I don't have a desire? I have a desire. When I have a desire, definitely the action which I do out of that should have a result. And that result is what is the artham, the benefit which I get or benefit somebody else gets. Otherwise, nobody will come and attend this session also. If your computer is on, at least your names are there, though you are not showing your face. There is some effort from your side. And what is the benefit? Some benefit you are expecting. Otherwise, every activity which the world is doing becomes purposeless. So everyone has got a desire, and there is an action, and there is a purpose for it, and that purpose gives you some result. The result is expected by the doer, the beneficiary, either the master or the student. Everyone have got this. So kamam and artham. Artham is what it makes. Probably some people do it for a very specific purpose. Artham can be dhanam. Artham can be the contact. Artham can be in many ways. The fame, popularity, whatever you get. I'll come back to what is the motive of, or what is artham, which can be expanded in different ways. I'll come back to that. So kamam, artham. Without artham, benefit, nobody does anything. And what is the third one? Kamam, Artham and Moksham. What is Moksham? If my desire is genuine and the purpose or the means of getting that Artham is clean, not in my wisdom, my virtue, my value, the common understanding of what the society is demanding from you. Or if it is individual, after doing an action, sometime I will keep saying, oh, I should not have done it. That will actually hurt me more and more. So is my action makes me sad, makes somebody else sad, then that is not in the righteous way. It is not my property as a human being, because every action done by human being has to be human, and every action which is done by me as a social being has to be social. It has to be socially accepted. So I must accept it. My family should accept it. My environment should accept it. If I am an institution, the college must accept what I am doing. If I am in a government office, the government should agree what I am doing is perfect. Otherwise, they can punish me. So there is a code of conduct. If I violate it, what will happen? There is a worry inside me, a tension inside me, anxiety inside me. Therefore, though I got some benefit out of it, I will not be happy. I'll feel sad. So though I have got a purpose, the purpose is attained but in a wrong way, then that keeps me in full tension. My stress will improve, increase. Therefore, what will happen? The benefit will become nullified. I will not be able to enjoy the result of the action. I'm so happy during the few words by the vice principal of the college, clearly mentioned. I'm sure what makes you happy as per each one of us is to be analyzed. What gives me happiness? And that is my motive. Yes. What gives me happiness is the question. That is what Guptaji told. So what is that gives me happiness? I must assess. For somebody, getting money can be happiness. So what is the result which you want to get out of it? Earning. Everybody works. Yeah, you are getting a salary. So at the end of the month or next month, beginning of the month, you are getting salary. The money comes, you are happy. Is it that your happiness is only when the result comes and the whole rest of the time when you are working, you are really troubling yourself? Yeah, assume that you are climbing a mountain. On top of the mountain, when you reach, you feel happy. Is it the whole climbing becomes so unhappy? Then that happiness which you derive becomes so short-living. Therefore, all the effort which you take becomes useless. So if the end result is money, earning, or maybe I am giving a talk now, the end result is, oh, somebody receives this and then reflect me back and saying that, yeah, the talk was really good. Dr. Jayanti Sahu joined. I was just mentioned it's all because of you. I'm here. Suppose somebody listens to the program and then see that, oh, I got some benefits. Then throughout the lecture, somebody is enjoying. So sometimes what happens is, throughout the lecture, somebody enjoys. It's like a political speech. Yeah, the lecture was very good, or the talk was wonderful. But then next day you start thinking, what is that you got? Oh, nothing was there, no content was there. So what happens? Some actions are enjoyable, but after that there is nothing remains in you. Sometimes what happens? Listening to somebody becomes, oh, nothing, I am not able to follow, understand anything. Let me listen to that once again. And when you listen second time, third time, the other day I had a lecture on Dharma. It was 2 hours. The person who was hosting, he said, maybe I will have to listen to this 3-4 times. I know there is some content, but yeah, I need to look at it, reflect upon it. So learning becomes sometimes directly possible. Sometimes you have to wait for that. Sometimes there may be nothing. So it becomes purposeless. So what happens? The person who is listening is not enjoying. Yeah, at least the speaker must enjoy. So I keep saying, I enjoy my talk. Let others suffer, I don't care. So that is, I don't worry about the result. I am only worrying about my actions, sir. Because I am enjoying. If I am not enjoying, I should not do this job. Because all that what I am doing is not earning, but learning. When I reflect on something else, I am learning. It's only a reflection, thinking about it in different directions. Suppose Guptaji did not mention about happiness, I think I don't speak like this. I'll speak in some other style. So it comes instantaneous. Yeah, I should look at what is that gives me happiness was what I was thinking. So it can be earning, it can be learning, and it can be fame. Yeah, you become famous. So what? You get another opportunity to talk to somebody else. So your happiness is inbuilt on earning, learning, and happiness. If only happiness is there, but no earning, no learning, no fame, that happiness is madness. There is no happiness if any of these or combination of these are part of your happiness. It should be understood very carefully. And without these three actions, the result of actions, this can be action by themselves, this can be result by themselves. Because if learning is what I am looking at, learning itself becomes part of the learning. When the reflection happens, when I am talking, when I am teaching, I am learning internally. So the result is the action itself. That is what Bhagavad-Gita is talking. It is not that Arjuna do not know how to fight. Don't think Arjuna was a person who was worried about fighting. He fought much bigger, greater wars. It is not that any person who is standing in front of you is so powerful than Arjuna where he has a fear of failure. No, he has no fear of failure. Don't think any of the Pandavas had fear of failure. Otherwise, they would have not even planned for. No. But he wanted to make sure the objective and scope of the action which he is going to do. When you become aware of the objective and scope, I am aware of the objective and scope of the talk today, what I am doing. And when I am aware of what I am doing, I am conscious about each word which I am using. Sometimes what happens to some speakers, they will come and speak blah, 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 without even being aware of what they are doing. Students, what happens to them when they join a college, they are not aware. Objective and scope is not there. Somebody pushed him there, pushed me there in that program. I am studying it. So what is essential? That's why every textbook has got an objective and scope. Every syllabus has an objective and scope. Every course has got an objective and scope. Every institution has an objective and scope. Are you fitting well? Or are you able to understand, not learning, understand the objective and scope of what you are doing? Then what happens? Every action you do become so casual, so natural, and so much involved, you are conscious about every action which you do. That is what is essential. That can be. See, what is the purpose of eating? Many people keep on eating. Soon after the food, you ask them, what did you eat? Oh, I don't remember. Because they were not conscious about eating. So what will happen? The food what you eat is not purposeful for your body. You are eating. Maybe the tummy is full, but you are not aware of what you are eating, what is the objective and scope of eating. Then what will happen? That will not be healthy for you. So how do you make sure every action you do is consciously done? That means you must have sufficient jnana, knowledge about it. That's why Bhagavad-Gita dedicated 6 chapters on knowledge alone. So it is not karma. Karma is, 2nd chapter, karma is good enough. 47th sloka is what we are looking at it. Or maybe even that is not required. 1 sloka would have been enough and then say, Krishna, go and fight. No. he is not convinced. He is not convinced about the objective and scope. He is not consciously doing his job. Then that becomes a mechanical job which is done by any army person in his troop. But Arjuna is not like a common man. He is a high intellectual where he has a lot of questions. So if question is not there from Arjuna, Gita would not have been there. So who created Bhagavad-Gita? It is not Krishna who created Bhagavad-Gita. It is Arjuna who created Bhagavad-Gita. And why it is told? Because there are a lot of questions. So how do you make your classroom effective? E effective and A effective. Your students should have a lot of questions. If that is not there, any lecturing which you do is, you are doing your job. Therefore, what happens? You are not worried about what the learning happens. You are only worried about finishing your syllabus. The students are worried about only writing exam and getting marks. That is not the purpose. Are you enjoying? It is not the result. So what happens? Assume that you did a BA or MA or a PhD and after that you don't get a job. Then what will happen? You think, oh, I wasted my time. No, it should not happen. When me, Dr. TPS, learned my mathematics from BSc, if I don't get any job also, I would have been the happiest. Because I learned 3 years thoroughly. If I sat in English classroom, I have learned English. That's good enough. I understood what Shakespeare says, what Macbeth says, what is his ability. If I am not enjoying each portion by portion time which I am spending in my life, when I am cooking, I am not enjoying cooking. If the whatever I am making that is spoiled, I will feel sad. If somebody else eats it and then say that no, the food is not good, I will feel sad. But if I enjoyed cooking, then I'll say don't care. I enjoyed it. So any action which you do, the result is not after the action. The result is while doing action itself. Only when you become a dedicated person, devoted person who is enjoying the action. That is what in Bhagavad-Gita, another 6 chapters, which is on total devotion, bhakti. Bhakti is not on somebody else. I am sitting here, my bhakti is on the principal. Oh, I am a teacher here. My bhakti is not on my lecturing. My bhakti is on principal. So what I will do? I will act like I am a very good teacher. I will pretend in front of them, but I am not enjoying what I am doing. This is what the problem is. So the genuineness is not there. So what is devotion? Devotion is being genuine. You are not cheating somebody else. When I am talking, I am enjoying. If that enjoyment is not there, I am not devoted to my job. So when I am devoted to my job, I enjoy. If I enjoy, there is a small chance of somebody else also enjoying with me. Suppose if I don't enjoy, then what will happen? All the people who are going to listen to me, 100% they will not enjoy. So if at all there is a chance, who should start initiating the action? The person who initiate the action should start initiating. So that is what it says. Karmanye vadhikaraste. It is not karmanye vadhikaraste, not two. It is continuous. It's so, see, Bhagavad-Gita can be seen as a beautiful text in which how it is to be written. Understand how it is to be written. Karmanye eva adhikaraha te. How is it the sandhi which you can see, which says how my action, karmanye eva, that, only that, not that alone, only that my right is on my action. My right is, or my happiness is, while I am talking, I am enjoying. Enjoy it. Once that is done, you got the result at the time itself. Why do you expect for somebody else telling that your lecture was good? Not required. I will do at the end of my lecture, I will hold my hand up and then say, well done. I will tell myself. I don't require somebody's certificate. So it is not I get the benefits or the fruit of action after that. This can be one step. And there are some cases where I am planting a banana tree. The planting I am enjoying, making a fence around it I am enjoying, watering every day I am enjoying. All that is my enjoyment. And it may grow, it may not grow. That is not in my hand. It may also die. The environment is not in my hand. Okay, if it is too hot, I may give a shade. Or maybe I'll keep a drainage sufficient enough that the water will not log there. All that can be done. And I can make it to grow sometime. If the seed is good, it may grow. Seed is not good, it may not grow. The sapling is not good, it may not grow. So growing is not in my hand. What is the benefit out of it? Growing it. It has to grow. That is what the fruit. It is not in my hand, but my action of planting it, taking care of it, maintaining it is in my hand. Okay, once it grows, what is the guarantee it will give fruits? All the trees may not give fruits. Suppose I have got a rose plant. It may not give rose flower every day. In my life, it may not be there. What is the guarantee that I will be alive? See, whatever coconut which I ate in my childhood, it was all planted by my father. But he was not alive by the time it started giving fruits. So the fruits is not his for him. It is for next some people, for generations to come. So don't think about the fruits which the banana tree gives, though I am planting it. If at all it is giving no guarantee that I will be there. If I keep on thinking about it, I will only get worried. But if I enjoy my actions, so what is more important? The devotion, enjoyment, and sufficient knowledge so that I will not find fault with my actions. So karma and devotion. If these two things are there, every action you do will become so beneficial to everyone. And then what will happen? Ena kena prakarena yasya kasyapi dehinaha sandosham janayat pratna tadaivam ishvara pujanam. Whatever action you do becomes so beneficial to many people, not one or two people. So don't do for yourself. Don't do it for only for few people around you. How much more people can be accommodated as part of your result? The beneficiaries of your actions become so many, you become insignificant there. You know, when after lecture, when I post on videos for last 800 days during COVID, I must have posted average 2 hours lecture of mine. Every day there is some lecture. The enjoyment is definitely there. When somebody gives a comment there, and when I look at on YouTube, I see some comment. Today morning I posted, it's only maybe 10 hours, 5 hours. After that, we get 100 people looking at it, and then at least 10 of them will send a message directly to me. I feel so happy. Does it mean I should not feel happy when somebody responds? No, that is not correct. Otherwise, why Dr. Meenakshi Singh has to look at my biodata and read? I was patiently listening. It's nice to listen from somebody about you. Okay, if I say don't do it, good enough, because nobody is listening it. I don't think anybody remembers what somebody reads through the introduction. What will happen? Dr. Meenakshi Singh has done some job, and that role is not allowed to play. She will feel upset. So what is that? Why I did not stop? Sometimes physically, when I am there in some college, I'll say don't read, because I have got time to pacify them, say that don't worry. So all not important, you know. Correct? So we have a thought about the result of actions. When I say there is a problem, if I don't say there is a problem, all these we keep thinking. Otherwise, how can we call as human being and social being? Okay. Do you think Krishna gave Bhagavad-Gita to Arjuna without having any attachment? Many people keep on saying no attachment should be there. Stupid waste. Don't use the word attachment at all. Bandhanam, bondage. That's a translation. Attachment should be there, but no bondage. These two things are entirely different in English. So Bhagavad-Gita never said don't do with attachment. Bhagavad-Gita prescribes to have attachment, but no bondage. What is the problem? Yeah, I told something about maybe Shilpa, Dr. Shilpa, Dr. Meenakshi, Dr. Subhashni. I told something. How do they think about it? What will happen if they take it negative? I don't care. Why? Because I have no bondage. I have attachment. That is why I am speaking. I talk about Dr. Jayanti. Why? Because I have an attachment. What is bondage? Oh, Dr. Jayanti, do not respond, then I will keep worrying about, yeah, what happened, why she did not. See, this happens in most of the day-to-day activity. When we say something, the response doesn't come as I wish, as I expected, then I will keep worrying about it. And that should not be there. Why it should not be there? If it is there, then you are thinking about how the reflection happens, the result happens. I'm not worried about it. I told I enjoyed. That's it. Okay, why am I thinking about the result so much? Only one reason. I don't have much job in my life. Suppose soon after that I have got something else to do. See, this lecture is over maybe by 4:30. Immediately I have got something else to do. 5 o'clock onwards, I have got something else, some other engagement. So where is my time for thinking about what happened yesterday, what happened day for yesterday, how people did not react to me? All that I don't have time at all. Because I am continuously engaged in actions. So what is Bhagavad-Gita says? You keep on thinking about fruits of action when? Only when you don't have much job in your pocket. So what is the best method? What is the practical message from Bhagavad-Gita? Be very busy in your life. Who will keep on complaining? Assume that XYZ comes and complains about somebody, complains about some action. Immediately the reference, what is the inference which we can get is that person is the laziest person. That person do not have much job. I worked in government 20 years. I know what happens in government. If somebody is coming with a nagging complaint, I said, don't you have any other job? Do some better job and rectify whatever you have not done or whatever you have done. Finished. That's it. Why do you worry about the XYZ, how they reflect, how they think about you? You do a better job and rectify it. Suppose you lost. Yesterday I gave an economics class for some student from Kerala. Last 2-3 days. What happened? She failed in examination. Econometrics is a very tough subject. I said, don't worry, open your syllabus, I am going to teach. No, my family. I said, all these are unnecessary. Your family problem. India is not a good country. Kerala is a bad state. Indian politics is not good. Kerala government is not good. My local government is not good. Police is not good. Parents are not good. Relatives are not good. All complaint comes because you are not focused. So Bhagavad-Gita clearly says, Ananyas chintayanto mam yejana pariyupasade tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam mahamyaham. How do you become happy and retain that happiness? How do you become rich and retain that richness? When do you become sad? When you have money and you don't have it after some time. When you have knowledge and you are not able to use it at the right place. And that will guarantee, Bhagavan will give you that when? Ananyas chintayanto mam yejana pariyupasade. Without any other thought process, keep on serving people. What a great thought is that. Ananyas chintayanto mam yejana pariyupasade. What is that I should do? Upasana. On what? Actions. My karma is important. Be in karma full time without wasting your time on thinking about how am I going to do it? Why am I going to do it? When am I going to do it? What is the purpose of it? Don't think about all this. Enjoy your action. That's it. Once the enjoyment is done, now somebody from Zambia called me. I couldn't attend to the call. So what did I do? I received the call and let her listen. She is a youth leader from Namibia. Let her listen my lecture. No. If she doesn't like, she will disconnect because I don't have time to disconnect and say I am all. So let her understand a little bit about it. I am in a lecture, she understands, that's good enough. I am sure she will come back to me after this. Yeah, I enjoyed the lecture. That will be the result. Otherwise, she will not listen. No. Otherwise, she will not be online. She would have disconnected. So what you should do is your devotion should be Ananyas chintayanto mam yejana pariyupasade. And such people, what do they do? Because you are constantly in action, you don't waste time on thinking what will happen, what will happen, what will happen. Is all what I have to say. I think I spoke 28 minutes. Good enough. I said 45 minutes, but the introduction part and all took some time, 20 minutes. So 28 minutes. Good enough. I can go on and on, but I wish and I expect that some people show face and then ask some questions. I saw some questions coming in the chat box and disappearing from there. Yeah, if somebody could read it, if their faces are not good, don't show. Those faces are good, they can read it. Our academics has become so bad after COVID, everybody's face has become so bad. So don't want to show their faces.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the talk. That's the virtue of a good teacher, is that you have given me some lessons for life in just this small, less than half an hour talk. So I can also see that there are some questions in the chat box. I'll request my colleague, Mr. Rijul, to please take over the questions. And if anybody else who has not posted the question and has it out, they can always ask, raise their hands, and we'll ask you to unmute. You can ask the questions.
Is
Over
it
to you,
this what
Rijul.
you want, Dr. Subhashini, or something else?
Thank you for a very illuminating talk, sir. So let's move on to the question.
Just a minute, sir. Namaskar.
Let's see what.
Subhashini this side.
So the first question that we have is says that human beings have free will to do karma. How is this possible when all actions are controlled by? I'm sorry. I can't hear anything. Hello, is someone trying to speak?
Rizul, this is me. Just a minute, sir. Ask me a few things. So,
ma'am, we can't hear you. At least I can't
hello,
hear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you are.
Rizul, just a minute. Sir, thank you so much. Actually, this question came because of some of our colleagues wanted philosophy department to arrange a talk on Karmanna Badhikara. So that is the reason I requested you. I knew for sure that whenever you are coming to the platform, definitely, everybody will listening to you. And whenever it is on karma, the way you had, that is the reason I asked you to provide me the theme, the action, karma, the conscious action. So I just asked my department to put a poster on that. Actually, whenever you are there, everything, whatever topic you discuss, it has its own purpose, as you told you very clearly right now. You are on action whenever you are in action, and this action has some purpose itself, and you prove it always whenever you are there. So that is the thing here. Just because my faculty were under question mark, that is there something hidden that should be enlightened by a good speaker. That is the reason I had, and you proved it, sir. You have given enough message, not only by citing that sutra, giving some life examples from your side as well. So I think this is more than enough for a pure understanding. Yesterday, some of my colleagues, they said that is it going to be very hardcore philosophy action? Then I said, let us listen to the speaker. He'll prove it. Some others said, is it going to be on consciousness, spirituality, and whatnot, all these kind of things? Then I said, no, it is not. I am not the right person. It is my speaker who is going to show you on the platform itself. So these are the questions which were there in the mind of our faculties. I'm not going to say anything about our students, because our students are yet to learn, and I think you have given enough chance to understand few things of their own life, the way they are leading, the way they are working, the way they are performing every job. I think you have done a wonderful job, sir. Thank you so much.
So kind of you.
Rijul, please take over. Please take over.
I think Rijul is not able to hear you, I think. Dr. Subhashini, you are muted. All of you are muted.
Hello.
Yes, Rijul,
Am I
you can
audible?
speak. Yes, yes, Rijul.
I'm sorry, there seems to be some problem with my microphone. Okay, so let's move on to the questions. The first question says, it is said humans have free will to do karma. How is this possible when all actions are controlled by Krishna or God? So, sir, if would you like to take these questions one by one, or would you like me
Yeah,
to
you
go through
can.
all of them?
I can take this question by question. See, understand in Bharatiya Sankalpa, when you talk about Krishna, Krishna is not somebody who is an individual outside this body. Krishna is inside you. God is inside you. He performs in you in different ways. We have got only three God Sankalpa, the basic gods. The first God is Brahma. The Brahma is the God of creativity. Don't think Brahma is a God of creation who is outside somewhere sitting and then creating. When I am talking, I have a creativity which comes in you, and that creativity is God of Brahma. The creation is the job that comes through me, my actions. And his wife Saraswati, only if I do research, my knowledge will improve. So Saraswati is wedded to Brahma. When I learn something, knowledge will come. From the knowledge, research will come. So Brahma is wedded to Saraswati. Now action. Vishnu is the god of action. Krishna belongs to the tradition of action. So Vishnu can sustain only when Lakshmi is there. Lakshmi is money. Can you do any job without a money? If I want to do agriculture, I need a land. I need a land, I need money. I need grains, I need money. So for anything, you need money. So any action which you take, you need money. Lakshmi and Vishnu are wedded. So where is Lakshmi and Vishnu? It's all in us. And then Shiva. Shiva is total dedication, rest, samadhi. And that deep sleep samadhi is not there. I cannot be energetic. Parvati is there only when there is samadhi. So imagine all these motivational lecture which Bhagavan Krishna gave is not one lecture, one textbook which is the core textbook of Bharatiya Sankalpa. Every small chanting which we do in the early morning, as soon as we wake up, we are supposed to get up. But some people wake up and get up later. So as soon as we wake up, before getting up, in between the small slot of time, that time we are supposed to sit and then start chanting, looking at our own palm, saying that Karagre Vasate Lakshmi Karamadye Saraswati Karamule Stida Gauri Prabhade Karadarshanam. So where is Lakshmi? Lakshmi is in the fingertip. Everybody understand this is money, this is money, this is money. So Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. So Lakshmi is there, action will come. So where is God, Krishna? Krishna is outside or inside her? So all God is inside us. That is why Bharatiya Sankalpa. The word itself is Sankalpa. There is nothing which cannot be in my mind and imagination. So my Sankalpa has to be cleaned. That is why every Pujari, if you want to understand Bhagavad-Gita, don't read Bhagavad-Gita, because before that you have to clean yourself. Or learn from such a person who is already cleaned so that he can perform. Your learning purpose becomes a performance of action, which is a yaga. That's why Bhagavad-Gita Yaga Yatna. Learning becomes a yaga and yatna. And who can perform yoga yatna? Not normal teachers who are working for salary. Only those people who have got a saptashuddhi in them. What is saptashuddhi? Pranabana vyano dhana samaname shuddhyandam jyotirham virecha vipatma bhuya sangha swaha. Vak, my word, should come from the mana. Vak mana. Chakshu srotra grana chihwaredo buddhya agriti sankalpame shuddhyandam. My sankalpa has to be cleaned. Very specifically says Sankalpa has to be cleaned. So my Sankalpa is clean. When you read Bhagavad Gita, you understand God is not somewhere else and overseeing your action to scold you and punish you. No. It is from inside you, and punishment is also inside you, and congratulating you or all that benefit which you get of happiness is also inside you. That's why Bhagavan says, Uddhared Atmanatmanam Atmanam Avasadhet Atmaiva Hyatmano Bandhu Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha. Your Buddhi, Manas, and Atma, which are contradicting, is your problem. So when they don't contradict, you identify all of them is inside you. So this lecture or this Bhagavad-Gita should be understood not by line, one by line, and one sloka by another sloka. No, the whole together, when you understand, you realize. 3 times I finished teaching Bhagavad-Gita. That's good enough in life. Rajul happy, or the person who asked the question is happy?
I think they should be happy. If they have a follow-up question, maybe they can type it out in the chat box. So let's move on to the next question. I'm sorry, sir, this question is not phrased very clearly, but let's see if we can make something out of it. It says, marked ultimate result of doing action is to be happy. My question is, like, we the people have different desires. How we say that if we do this action, we will be happy. Maybe another desire may arise, and again they feel not happy. They want to get more and more. Can we decide any barriers, like if we gain that, we can say yes, we are happy? I think the questioner is trying to say.
No, it is very clear. Need no explanation.
Okay.
I am little sensible to understand what is going inside the person's mind when they ask this question. See, that's what I said. When you have an emotion, feeling, requirement which says, I want to eat ice cream, I want to eat ice cream, nothing wrong, natural. But my buddhi says, don't eat ice cream from a normal shop because they don't use clean water to make the ice cream. They are not very clean. My buddhi says, don't eat, don't eat, don't eat. Now, whom should I listen? This conflict is common for every person at every point of time. I want to do from the manas, emotion. Emotion says, I want. Buddhi is logically saying, don't do it now. Now, assume that I want to go to a 5-star hotel and eat. Immediately I say, along with me, Dr. Subhashini is there, let her go. Then after that, I will go so that I don't have to pay her bill. Right? So who says this? Wait for that person to go. Generally, it happens in city, right? When you want, your friend is with you, you will say, yeah, tata, bye-bye. And you don't go to your home back. You will go with somebody else. You are planning all this internally. Why? Because though emotionally you want somebody beside you, your pocket doesn't agree. Therefore, you are logically becoming very clean. And then after some time, you would have thought, yeah, I should have had ice cream. Yeah, it would have been so nice. But then assume that you had ice cream. Definitely when you get a sore throat, you will say, oh, I should not have eaten ice cream. So after an action, repenting for what you have done or repenting for what you have not done comes from inside you, which is a conflict which you have, contradiction which you have. So how do you take care of it? That can be taken care of only by spiritually higher. A person is spiritually higher, this conflict will not come. So what is human nature? Human nature is like a Maslow's principle. You are a physical requirement that gives you very short happiness. Emotional requirement, little more happiness, but don't stay for longer. Intellectual happiness, intellectually think and logically think, it will give you little more better, but not enough. Then what do? Go to social. Everyone has got a individual dharma, social dharma, and your ratification of what you have done should come from the society, family, profession, everybody. If it is not there, you become more upset because other people will start criticizing you. All these are part of your life. Then what do? When you are very highly spiritual, enlightenment comes, actualization comes, then you feel have no problems in your life. So it is a great growth. So how to take care of it? Be spiritually higher. How do you become spiritually higher? It's all being with such spiritual people. It's like a magnet. When you rub with them for a longer time, you get magnetism. It is not that you can teach that. No teaching for spiritualism. You have to be with them. Satsang is essential. Learn from the gurus. I was blessed with great gurus. And therefore, being with them, we understand. Oh, this is what to be given importance. This should not be cared. This is what life is. That's a great life learning lesson. That is what happens.
So moving on, we have a lot of questions coming in. So the next question asks how free will is compatible with determinism. That is, the question says, if destiny is already decided, then why take action at all?
No, there is nothing called destiny. Only thing, when it is favorable to us, we say, oh, we are lucky. When it is not favorable to us, with our thoughts and our knowledge, we say we are unlucky. Actually, there is nothing like that. I think I made a small, beautiful PowerPoint presentation with a description like an animation movie, and then posted onto my YouTube on the same topic. Every moment we think, oh, it is very good. When I don't get a job, I think, oh, I am unlucky. When I get a job, I think I am so lucky. God only knows. What is good for me with my thought, I think that is correct. Not necessarily true. In a longer run, what is good for me should be understood. When I lost my job in university as a director, I thought, oh, it is not good for me. But immediately I got a posting in Prime Minister's office. If I would have been a director there, I will not get this job. So I keep saying, when you miss a bus, you get a lot of buses. When you get into a bus, you miss a lot of buses. So what is good for me, what is not good for me is not in my hand. Action is in my hand. So be very quick, very fast, without rest, keep on doing actions. If such people, whatever they get, they will enjoy. All those people who have all these negative thoughts are people who are basically lazy. If you are not lazy, nothing happens. A failure also can be a great lesson. I enjoy every failure. I enjoy. I remember in my childhood when we walk, we have fallen, we have done some mistake, we get some accident. Immediately, my mother used to tell, it's very good. It's very good that it happened. So it's a new experience for you. Yeah, Raju.
Okay. So some people have also raised their hands. I think Dr.
They should be
Jayati.
allowed to ask questions directly. That's what I wish.
Yes. So I think we're going to do that now. So Dr. Jayati has a question, it seems.
Yeah.
Dr. Jayati, are you there?
She's there. You have to unmute Dr. Jayanti.
Ma'am, you're still muted.
You unmuted and muted again. Only one soft press.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Sir is bad actually. I think Jayanti will never go.
Okay, so can we have the question?
Yeah, Dr. Jayanti, you are.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I just. So it's good to listen to you. As I said, that it's always good to listen to you, sir. So many things I learned from your lectures. And first of all, I would like to congratulate Department of Philosophy for organizing this lecture. Dr. Subhasin Varik and Dr. Silpi Srivastav and others. So, sir, my question, it's not a question actually. I just little curious to know about when you speak about the karma as a conscious action, and then also you also said happiness, so many things, that is there any kind of element of faith is there when we are talking about the theory of karma? Because whether it is when if we do not take a faith factor into account, so talking in terms of a conscious action, karma as a conscious action is not possible. And second thing is that is there any kind of rationality also is there? And when we talk about the conscious action, is there something rationality also involved within that theory? So I just little worried about the karma with a kind of conscious action, and if that consciousness allows some kind of faith to be inside. So that is what I just wanted to know.
What is faith? Faith in whom? Faith in your action, faith in your knowledge, faith in your devotion. So that is what is awareness. That is what is knowledge. When I have faith in what I am doing is, I am doing in full faith. What is my faith? Whatever I am speaking is what I gained from different sources, which I have over and over thought about it, and I am reflecting. And even if you don't prepare, now how do I give an answer? It is not what I prepared probably. I never would have got a question like this which challenges. So what happens? I reflect, and I am confident that I am able to reflect. That is the faith which I have. Where is that faith comes from? That is what is experience. So how do you get into that experience which smoothens your life? And that consciousness, that awareness, and that blessing which you have is what you require to have. That is what I said. It's a satsang. It's a confidence. It is what you gain over experience. So I have faith in me. So everyone who is into action should have faith in them. And once you have it, your awareness get awakened. That is what we call it as self-actualization, or that is what we call it as being a enlightened person, or that is what you call it as Atmiya Purusha. So that is what is spirituality. Then you don't have worries at all. Otherwise, what happens when you get somebody who comes with a complaint, you also think, yeah, what Dr. Jayanti says is perfectly correct. How do we get it? Yeah, not impossible. Finished. So I'm not clearing. I'm also joining and adding some more confusions to you, right? So my intention, objective, and scope is very clear. When you speak, I know this is what it means. That is the awareness which all of us should have. That comes through knowledge. Otherwise, Arjuna would have fought. But then somebody comes and asks Arjuna, you should not have fought. Finished. He will say, oh, I should not have done it. Now Arjuna will never say anybody else. Because he understood, he is aware, he is conscious about his action, so that nobody can find fault with him for the action which he did. That is the purpose of knowledge. That is the purpose of devotion. So your learning becomes your understanding. The other day I posted a Subhashitam in which how a teacher becomes a master. A teacher becomes a master when there are students who becomes real students who will ask questions, so that your mastery will come out. Otherwise, normally when you give a lecture in the classrooms, you are not even thinking, you are not even reflecting. You learned something, you are mugging it up and then putting it. So what happens? You are not thinking. When you think and reflect only, you get a mastery of the subject. That's what is required. Yeah.
Okay. So is there anyone else who would like to ask a question? They can switch on their microphone right now or raise their hand. Anyone?
Dr. Subhashini
Okay,
has something to ask. No.
Okay. Subhashini ma'am, please go ahead.
Sorry, some technical problem was there. Thank you so much, sir. Actually, it is my...
Somebody, Sana
Yes, someone...
Sir, this is just in connection with what Jayanti asked. It is a kind of thing, the way you put the action. Suppose I'm doing something, I'm trying to think in terms of the way you explained everything. Suppose I'm doing something with an intention to satisfy a mass, for example.
Yeah.
I have done my best effort. I'm satisfied so far as the contribution is concerned.
Yeah.
But so that satisfaction is there. But I couldn't satisfy the mass. Of course, that is not under my control. But was having some kind of expectation,
Yes.
which I couldn't fulfill.
Yeah.
Right. So when you said that a kind of social happiness or intellectual happiness or familial happiness, and in that term, I have my own happiness in terms of my intellectual happiness. When I am saying I am satisfied that beyond this, I could not have put anything extra. But I am not, I couldn't manage to satisfy the, maybe it is my classroom, maybe it is my staff, maybe it is the outside people. In that case, there is one side I am having my satisfaction to some extent, putting my best effort. Other side, I am having my worries, which will definitely compel me to reflect upon where I went wrong, which part I need to rectify or improve upon so that I could manage to do better, so that maybe the other thing is, this is one thing. So when I'm coming to the title of your paper, Karma, the conscious action, right? So in that case, both way I'm conscious about my happiness, about my worries, which will be, I mean, my question is, I'm little confused, which part is controlling me. That is number one. Number two, the other way, when I'm taking a decision, harsh decision about my own life, maybe I'm not very happy with a particular aspect, so I'm taking a harsh decision which others are not accepting. In that case, I'm facing a problem. That objection from outside is faced by me, which is providing me pain, but I'm happy because I have taken my decision as per my own interest. Here also there is a conflict. How to proceed?
Yeah,
Just,
I got it. I got it. What I'm saying, every performance which you do, this is Dr. TPS formula. P performance is equal to attitude A plus opportunity O plus skill S. Skill has to be there, opportunity has to be there. That means your environment has to be very good, your skill has to be very good, and your attitude has to be very good. Only when three things are together, your actions becomes, the performance becomes genuinely good, acceptable to everyone. In which, in that opportunity given to you, it becomes very good. Assume that I am a good teacher of English. Definitely you should ask a question, which class? Is it LKG or PhD students? Suppose from an LKG I perform very well, but when I go to a PhD students of English literature, I don't perform well because I don't have that skill. So how to improve that? I must improve the skill. So skill and opportunities are dependent, right? So attitude is must. That attitude is devotion. I am devoted. I am ready to learn. Got it? I don't know your language. I came to Delhi in the beginning, early 2000. I was giving a lecture. I was not good in Hindi. So I made a translator. He was translating for me. But then I know Hindi. I am not a public speaker in Hindi. That's all. But I found that this man is manipulating and putting his ideas forward. I told him, I know Hindi and I can speak Hindi. So immediately I shifted to speak in Hindi. Suppose if I don't do that and I cannot do that, I know that I am not performing my job. So that is what is Jnanam. Your realization comes. Whether you are aware of it, you are conscious about misleading people only when you are aware of it. You are conscious about it. Why Dr. Subhashini feels upset? Because the people who heard you told you that, oh, it is not very good, I could not understand. Or maybe in the performance of examination, you found that your students are not performing well. You felt that you are not a good teacher. So you are evaluating them, right? So when you evaluate, what are you doing? You are assessing you. That is why you feel, oh, I have not done good. That is the attitude setting. But you should not stop there. Immediately after that, you should plan for your skill development. If it is not happening, you change your opportunity. You are at the environment which you are there. You are not fit here. I am fit somewhere else. So nobody is unfit. We are fit for some purpose in some places. Then shift that. That is what is to be done. That is what is not being bounded. What is boundedness? I want to be in this seat. Got it? And I want to do what I can do, and I will never get out of that place. That is bondage. Once you get bondage, everybody will suffer. If you have no bondage, nobody will suffer. Assume that I am not a good husband to my wife. What do I do? Either I will succumb myself for a change, I will try to change my wife, and both doesn't happen. What should happen? Change your wife, change your husband. Understood? That will not happen when you have a bondage. I can have attachment. What is attachment? As long as I am with you, I am with you. As soon as I go out of it, I am not with you. Even if I am not with you, I keep on thinking about you is bondage. So what is that? Shankara says, Manam Darpana Samanam. The mind has to be like a mirror. What is mirror? When you stand in front, I will reflect. As soon as this Deshabandhu College Philosophy Department, Dr. Subhashini's question I am answering, I am with this fully devoted. You can see my mind, my buddhi, my atma, everything is here. As soon as I finish this program, hey, I should have told like this is not there in me. I have done what I can do. I am not trying to do what I can do. No, don't ever try. Do it. That is what Bharatiya Sankalpa says. Udyamam sahasam dhairyam buddhi shakti parakramam shadhede yatra vartande devam tatra pragashyat. My intention is to give an answer. That intention is my planning. After that, when you are asking question internally, oh, this is how I should tell, I have planned. At least in the beginning, few sentences I have planned. Rest of the thing, I never planned it, it just flows. Correct? So that intention is there. If I intend that I am not going to answer you, then finished. No thought process will happen, no thinking will happen, nothing will happen. So my attitude is set. And where is the skill? That is the experience which I gained. So I am using that opportunity. If I don't use this opportunity, I don't answer you because I don't have an attitude to answer, then I am not going to improve. And do you think Dr. TPS will say whatever I am saying is 100% correct? No, I am only reflecting. Correct? So, manam darpana samanam. When you are there, I reflect. As soon as it is over, I finished. That is what is to be done. I finished my lecture for a class. So, how do you improve? Yeah, somebody told me, don't lecture in philosophy classrooms. Make your students to reflect. And you give your interpretations, because textbooks are there, and every buffalo who is coming to graduation can read English. Otherwise, they are not fit for becoming a graduate. Ask them to read and come back to the class. Ask them to ask questions. Or maybe you can give a 20. See, generally 40 minutes of classroom, I never taught more than 20 minutes. I will allow children to ask questions. I will ask them, I can finish the syllabus. You take the syllabus, read point by point. I will finish your syllabus in a day. 2 hours lecture is enough to finish any chapter in this, any subject, any syllabus. After that, let them, that 2 hours is enough to give them a chance to read and come back. You will see how great a teachers will become after this. I saw in your vision document that self-learning for children are encouraged. This is what should happen. Correct. Yeah.
Sometimes, so there is a confusion.
Yeah.
Sometimes being a teacher, see, as a person, I have different ways of performing at different parts of life. As a daughter, I have my work to do towards my parents, or as a family person, but as a teacher, when I am contributing to my students, interacting with my students, I think I need to adopt a multifarious characteristics, because we are not directly communicating with 1 or 2 kids. We are communicating with a class of 60 students, and our works are more important. I mean, that is more observational. In that case, only concentrating on my action, I think, never works.
This is the book answer for you, which is a
Go
book
through-
on adaptive learning and
I'll
teaching.
definitely go through that book. But
You can download it from my website. Go to www.drtps-shiksha.in. Look at the books. There is a book on adaptive learning. How do you get adapted to students? You fit in their requirement. Definitely, I have a role. I have a goal. I have my own values. Dr. TPS, again, one more principle. What is life? Role, goal, value, balancing is life. I have a role as a teacher. My goal is whoever is coming to me, I must make them as learners.
Yes.
No, teaching is not my job. I never teach. I want whoever is listening to me must have a ambition to learn. How do I make them to have an ambition to learn? I am a learner. I present myself as a learner in front of them. So when I am a learner, they realize, oh, this person is able to learn. Then what happens? They will also get some spirit of learning. Then you are not a teacher, you are an acharya. Yadyada janati sreshta tattadevetarojana sayat pramanam gurude yogastadanuvartade. Bhagavan Krishna says, Arjuna, don't run away from this warfield. People will quote you as bad examples. What you should do, your action should motivate somebody else to do actions. So teachers are not teachers who carry a lot of data and then mug up and put it in the classroom. As a student, as a learner, you present yourself. Let us think together. Then you are being part of learner along with your students. Is it not life also like that? I am not a parent who is dictating my children what they should become. I am presenting as a parent, and my children should feel I also want to be like a father like him. Oh, I have got a PhD. My students also should feel, oh, I should also do PhD. If I am a PhD, my students are thinking, I don't want to do PhD. That means I have not really mockerized PhD in front of them, because they are not seeing any quality in my PhD. Got it? So each person should become a role model in different roles. To a student, I have a role to play as a teacher. When I go to my guru, immediately I will become a student. I am not a teacher there. So I have a different role. I am a parent, I am a husband, I am a friend, I am an office man. So we have Swadharma, Kudumba Dharma, professional dharma. Every place we play different roles. Each cell in our body has that consciousness in action, that awareness in each cell, which will act according to which place it is existing. Biology cannot explain, zoology cannot explain. Consciousness is what is explained. Ena chakshushana pashyanti, ena chakshunshi pashyatihi. The cell in my eye doesn't have eyesight, but when it comes and stays in the eyesight, it becomes a eye. It will help to visualize. It is not that I learned how to become a father. When I became a father, I started behaving like a father. Correct? So what is that perfection? Perfection is your attitude change at the right time in the right place. That is why we say, oh, he has got good consciousness. We behave in a different style in different place. We say this has no sense at all, right? So we have to be sensible. We have to be aware. We have to be conscious. If we are not conscious, senseless. So be senseful. That's good enough. If I am not a good teacher, I must have the sense saying that I am not a good teacher. That's enough. Today I wrote a poetry. Last 2 weeks I acted in 2 short movies, short films. So in which somebody asked me, write your experience of being an actor. So I said, there is an actor in me which wanted to show that I am not acting, but people should feel that I am acting. So that's a big conflict. I am being conscious about my unconsciousness and being conscious about being unconscious. So I am consciously becoming unconscious and unconsciously becoming conscious. That is what is life. So each one of us do that. See, assume that husband and wife is fighting. Let a respectful guest come to your house. Immediately you will smile and then say, oh, no problem. You will act peacefully, right? As soon as they go, you start the second chapter of fighting. How are we able to do this? Because we are aware of our role. We are aware of the environment in which we are there. Every one of us have this ability. But many people don't plan it accordingly. So that is what is required. That is what is conscious. Being conscious of your actions. We are conscious only when some real things happens in life. Assume that you are tata bye-bye to chief guests. And by mistake, while locking the door, your left hand went inside. Will you cry saying, I lost my finger and all that? You will not. If they ask also, you will say nothing happened. But assume that that happens from your close relative at home. You will start fighting. You will start shouting. So we know where, what, how, why, when. Where, when, why, how things have to be done. That is what is our consciousness. Keep that consciousness strong in life so that anything comes, we convert that into an opportunity. And that opportunity creation is what is growth.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Should we move on? Okay. So I saw a couple of more raised hands. Is there anyone?
Another question.
Someone is trying to speak. Is it Dr. Meenakshi by any chance? Yes, ma'am.
Rijul, there is a question by Jayanti, Dr. Jayanti. Hello.
Okay.
Rijul, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you. We can hear you, and I'll move on to the questions in the chat box if nobody has any questions to ask over the microphone. Okay.
You can just read it out.
Okay, so going to Dr. Jayati's question, she says, do you think that all conscious actions are good?
See, good and bad is highly relative. Good and bad cannot be determined by my buddhi of today. What is good, what is bad? Only the consequence of my actions will come out after some time will tell. What is good today can be wrong somewhere else. At this point here, today, to some person can be good, but some other place, similar action can become bad. So it's all relative. There is nothing which is good, absolute good and absolute bad is not there in this world.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else wants to say something? Okay, Dr. Jyoti wants to say something more. Go ahead. Go ahead, madam.
Sir,
You are muted again, Dr. Jandi. You had the, yeah.
Sir, actually, I agree with you to some extent. When we talk about good and bad, it's absolutely relative. And you said that there.
Again, unmuted.
Yes, you said that something good is relative. I agree to some extent that good is relative. But when we talk about Bhagavad-Gita, and you have beautifully explained, I agreed the point which you have said. But then there is a problem that unless and until we establish some kind of universal values or the conscious action which you are taking. So if I make it my good as something related to my consequence of my action, and I said this is good for me and this is not good for you, so then we cannot establish any kind of conscious karma which we are talking about. That is the first thing which coming to my mind. And the second thing is that like this kind of discourse, when we are talking about, there is always a kind of absolute claim is always there, and then that is a larger domain we are talking about, not a kind of individual domain we are concerned about. So what is your response to that?
See, Bhagavad-Gita and Krishna's life itself is a great example where you can see a lot of the so-called adharmic things which he has done. We know he killed uncle, we know he did a lot of, in the war also he manipulated the situations so that the ultimate aim of winning the war was his only objective. So we say some, which is not dharmic. Dharmaputra himself had a question whether whatever he has done in the war is dharmic or not. Why? In the overall benefit of larger people for a longer time, the path can be wrong. That wrong is Yuddha Dharma. When we talk about the Dharma, I told I have an individual Dharma. But assume I am a lawyer practicing. Somebody comes to me saying that I killed so and so person, please save me. I cannot tell him go and surrender to police because you already killed somebody. Individual dharma, that is perfect. As a national dharma, that is perfect. But I've got a dharma by profession, which says whoever comes to me, even though they have done crime, I should not publicly speak that he has done a crime. I should hide that and then argue for him is my professional dharma. So every dharma has to be looked at. That's why I said where, when, why, who. Just because I'm an advocate, I've got an authority to tell a lot of lies in the court. That doesn't justify me coming to my house and then lying lot of bad stories which I do somewhere else and then do all stories in my house and cheat all my people. I am cheating. The court, what I do is a real cheating. I know what is fact, but I don't present it well. But I should not do it in my family. Got it? So everyone has got a dharma. Yuddha dharma, yuddha niti is entirely different from the Raja Niti, Raja Dharma. In a war field, the dharma is entirely different even for a Kshatriya. Their winning is his only task. So it is, that is why I said role, goal, value, balancing, fine tuning, putting it together. Where, when, why, how does it? You give me any example, I can justify it by where, when, why, how people have done it. Sauda Pirveen, P-R-V-E-N. Yeah.
Hello, sir. This is Sauda Pirveen, student of Deshbandhu College, Philosophy Department. Am I audible?
Yes, wonderful.
Okay, sir. So my question was, why do we have to pray at all when, as you said, that God resides within us? All the three gods, basic gods, are within us. And if our free wish is me, so why worship God, the entity that is existing outside of us?
See, all the rituals which we have in Bharatiya Sankalpa is to educate you to become a self-gained knowledge person. In which platform I am talking now? I need to make poetry out of my alphabets. The alphabets are learned in childhood. Then how to construct words are learned. Then how to make sentences out of that is learned. With my internal efficiency to become a poet, I create poems. Then now I can say you don't require alphabets to learn. So these are all different steps. I don't require my father's picture. I lost my father when I was 4 years old. I don't even remember my father's face if I would not have seen his face many times in my life. to give his picture in my mind, in my manas, to tell that this is my father. My mother kept my father's picture and told him, this is your father. Therefore, today I am able to put my father's picture in my house and tell my children, this is, but is the father in the picture or in my manas? Is it in my buddhi or is it in my each cell of my body? I don't take much time when I see my mother's picture. Oh, this is my mother. I don't think it is there in me. So I must make God inside me with a faith, with a lot of such practices. This is what is called a dhyanam. This is what is called a abhyasam. This is what is called a lot of practices which I am supposed to do every day. Over a period of time when I learned and the God is with me, now I can say it is not that God is with you, each one of us. It is a practice which makes you to take God inside you and realize. I have to learn alphabet and words and then sentences with the Pakka grammar, so that tomorrow when I write a poetry, my poetry inside me will come out and I become a poet. If I would not have read many poems, I will not be able to publish poetries like this. How am I able to write poems and then say I have written poetry? Only because I read poetry, I know the grammar. So these learning about God, rituals which is being done, understand these are all the tools for equipping you to realize God. Many people, what happens, they are only in KG bhaktas, I keep saying. They never improve, they don't learn, they don't understand. So most of the temples in Bharatiya tradition was a place where they teach this. That is why temple construct lot of big hall where they keep on conducting prabhashan, like these lectures, realizing God, understanding God. Such words will come. And the beginning is bhakti. Bhakti can be blind. But I don't have faith in God at all now. I don't believe in God. Dr. TPS doesn't believe in God, but I understand God. So the belief comes first. Do you believe this is a pen? Or do you know this is a pen? If you have doubt, you keep writing and then saying, oh, it's writing, therefore it's a pen. Right? So you must experience. That experience of God will come only when you have faith. First, how do I test this, whether it is writing or not? First, I have a belief. First, I have a faith. Oh, this is pen. With that faith only, I keep writing. When it is writing, I understood. Yeah, this is. So you need first faith. So all these rituals are to create that faith. By practice, by writing, you realize this pen can be used for writing. Beautiful question. I loved it.
Okay. Let's see. Someone. Oh, okay. That question has already been asked. Does anyone have anything else they want to say? Hello.
Good enough.
Ritual, I think there are no more questions.
Okay, so if there are no more questions, I will invite Anita ma'am to deliver the vote of thanks.
Dr. Meenakshi has
and thank our guests for a very lively and illuminating discussion.
Thank you, Rijul sir. So now it is my duty to do my bit of conscious action of appreciating and acknowledging the contribution of all who made this webinar a success. A very good evening to all and one present here for the webinar. So it's my privilege to propose vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of all those who made today's event a successful event. Our distinguished speaker of the talk, Dr. T.P. Sasikumar, gave an inspirational talk on a very relevant topic, that is karma, conscious action. It was indeed an enjoyable learning experience, that how to make our action so devotional, that how to, so that right thing or the what doing things are accomplished naturally. Doing things should become so enjoyable that you won't even seek the result. Rather, the whole focus should be retaining the happiness in the very process. So our heartiest gratitude to our principal, sir, Dr. Rajiv Agarwal, who always encourages and supports us in such endeavors. Next, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our Vice Principal, sir, Professor Kamal Kumar Gupta, sir, for taking keen interest and appreciating the philosophical talk, in spite of being from a different background, that is from zoology department. Our thanks is also due to Dr. Aditya Saxena, the IQAC coordinator, and his team for all the support that he provided us throughout the event. Then we would also like to acknowledge the constant support and encouragement of our TIC ma'am, Dr. Subhasini Barik. Without her being behind the event, this event wouldn't have seen the light of the day. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I would also like to thank my colleagues, Dr. Shilpi Shirvastava, Dr. Meenakshi Singh, and Mr. Rijul Rajesh. Lastly, I would also like to thank all the participants, including the various faculty members of our college, as well as of other various institutions, as well as all the students who made this event a successful event. So thanks once again to all of you. So thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you,
a lot.
Can I please request everyone to switch on their camera once so that we can click a photo? We can have it for record purpose. Everybody, please, can you switch on your cameras? Thank you so much. Thank you all. I think we can close the meeting.
Bye-bye. Thank you.